All right, ladies and gentlemen, Lena's looking great. Now, I do want to say a couple things about Ellen. Ellen had mentioned all this stuff. Like it was mentioned about Ellen that she had been so rude to her staff, had been really rude to people that she knew, um, that were like guests that were not famous guests. Like if they weren't celebrity guests, she'd be rude. She was very rude to a lot of people. She really had a hard time with people and just treated them really badly. And so it's funny because she is really famous right now. Like she's got 38 million subscribers, and you're just like, oh my God, like how on earth with that scandal going on? I mean, but then you're like, well, do people want people to be rude to their stuff and just be like all tyrants? I don't think so. I don't know. I mean, but but I mean, honestly, I can say, I think I'm subscribed to Ellen's channel. I like Ellen's channel. I like Ellen. Ellen is very funny. Ellen picked a beautiful woman to marry. Ellen is very personable and funny. When Ellen puts on humor that's really good, she is really funny. Like she could be really funny, and people just gravitate towards her. She's just so popular. I thought with that scandal going on, she was going to lose all her subscribers, and she was going to be, on the bottom of the barrel with that, and having a hard time. But she's really gotten super popular, and I'm like, holy, this really worked for her in her favor. And I mean, the thing I find funny, when you see these scandals and you see these things, the minute you see them, you're thinking. I mean, for me, I automatically think they're not going to do as well. But some scandals are worse than others, um, like Roseanne Barr's scandal with racism. It was horrible what she said. You're just thinking, why would you be so rich and just be in your home and say these things when you have all this money? You like when you're a celebrity and you have all this money, you're not in touch with human troubles. Like you got all this money, you're not really connected to the troubles that people deal with. So to be racist, I just think you're kind of like, well, if you're racist and I love Roseanne, don't get me wrong, but if you're racist and you got all this money, like, don't you think that you already have enough? You don't have to be, like, for me, when I get famous, which I will get famous, I'm certain of it. When I get famous, I feel like I'm going to, focus on the entertaining, focus on giving people a good show. I'm going to focus on doing a good job, and any comments with any group or any comments with anyone negative, I'm gonna refrain from because I'm in a position where I have everything I need. I don't have to worry about how I treat people because I have everything. I'm self-sufficient. I don't need anybody. I'm gonna be good on my own, and so I don't need to be rude either, right? Like, I mean, it's one thing to be angry at someone when you meet them because they're doing something to you or whatever, or when you see someone and they're just like really nasty, then not to be angry at them, but just sort of like, okay, well, I accept that I'm not going to be liking that very much. But it's another to say something so rude about people's cultures and grouping them together and just being so rude about it and just sort of like and you have all this money and you're doing so well. It's a big no-no to me. I think if you're that privileged, you really have to just enjoy it and um, not real. Like, why would you be saying something that racist? I don't know, but I mean, all these people that do these things, I find that their careers just go like they get so popular, and then you think to yourself, like, what are the people that are watching? Like, what are they thinking? Like, are they like for this? I mean, I don't know. I mean, like, I feel like the world's gotten really politically correct, and I feel that people are really kind of like not in the mood to argue uh, with people being different. I think people are very much like if you're different now compared to years ago, where if you were different then, you would not thrive, you would not do well. But now, if you're different, and different can be many things, can be anything. People that are different or unique or stand out or have flaws even that are unique or whatever. or have a disability that's unique, whatever. If you have something that's unique about you, maybe you're really unattractive. People that have totally unique things or that are different are flourishing now. It's uncanny, but I find that people that are different or that offer something different, or we live in a world now where and of course the typical European stars there, good looks, pale skin, um, like Brad Pitt and Ricky Martin and like Jennifer Aniston. Those people are still there, but and they're going to be there for eternity. I'm thinking they're going to be popular for a long time. It's a good look, but nowadays we live in a world where differences are very valued, and of course there's racism and all that, which makes it hard. But and the thing that people that dealt with before, for like Civil War and all that, like it's crazy what people dealt with everything. But now we live in a world where people that are different are celebrated and not, and it's nice to be different. And you can say that you have a health problem. You can say, I mean, you can say you have a health problem. You can say you're not, you can say you have a mental disorder now and you'd be popular. You could say you are trans and you'd be popular. You could say, I find a lot of people on TikTok especially are popular because they say they've been abused as a child, or um, they've been struggling with money, or they were homeless or whatever. People like that tend to have a lot more likes and a lot more views because it's so, you know, it makes you stand out. It makes you feel like it makes you totally different than everybody else. Anyway, I digress. Totally enjoyed the show. Like I said about the racism and different things, I really feel it's uncalled for to be like really rich and just spewing your mouth and saying these things. I don't think it's right to be like, I mean, especially if you're good looking and rich. If you're good looking and rich, just enjoy it. Don't you know? Don't rub it. I mean, you can rub it in to some extent, but I mean, to not obviously if you're enjoying it, people might not like you saying it, but to be like pointing out at a certain race or being like pointing out a certain minority or pointing out at anyone in general, and you're so rich and you have all this money and you're so popular and you look so good, like honestly, I really don't have time for that. But I don't know. Some people don't care. They don't mind. They don't feel worried about it. I mean, I personally, if I was racist, I think my channel would be shut down immediately. I'm not racist at all, but I think it's like, and it's cancel culture. I think cancel culture is very, like, to cancel something, they are canceling it and they are removing it and they are giving these people a harder time because they say these things and they shouldn't be said. I personally don't have time for it. I really don't think that should, um, someone that feels entitled to say the most nastiest things. Like, if you live in a mansion and you have no sense of reality for what a poor person goes through, or you have no sense of reality what a certain person that deals with a certain race, I really think you have no say in anything, really. Just enjoy your millions, just enjoy living in your home, just enjoy being happy with that. I'm gonna be rich too, I'm gonna be famous. I'm going to enjoy that. I'm not gonna be giving racist rants. I really don't have time for that. I really don't believe in that. I don't think you should be racist if you have all this money and people that are all different races, all different looks, all different personalities are supporting you. I don't think you should ban or diss anyone. I don't think anyone should feel left out of what you offer. And I don't think saying a hate crime or being like rude or being, and then to top it all up, people like that get canceled. It's like, if you want to be rich and stay rich, maybe you have these opinions. I don't. I don't feel racist. I don't feel homophobic. I don't feel transphobic or heterophobic or anything. I don't feel those things, so I don't worry about it. But if somebody is like that and they feel those things, I would refrain from talking about it. I mean, if you're gonna get canceled, why would you even dare? But some people can't keep their mouth shut and they really feel those things. So if they feel those things, they're gonna eventually say those things, and so they don't want, obviously if you're gonna say those things, you deal with the repercussions. But anyway, I digress, darling. Alright, bye.